The title of it was, are you going to live unfulfilled? And the reason I asked that question, because so many people, you watching this, at a point in my life, I was that person. I was choosing to settle. I was choosing to ignore my worth. I was choosing to ignore becoming the person I knew I could become. And I was unfulfilled. And I was choosing to live unfulfilled. And I want to make tonight's message about responsibility. We're not going to talk about blame. We're going to talk about responsibility. And I know this might hurt. And trust me, there's different, don't take it out of context. There's definitely different situations, scenarios that don't apply to this. But I want you to understand something. You're choosing right now to live unfulfilled. And you might say, well, how can I live fulfilled? How can I do this and that? And that would tailor differently to each person. So I can't go down, the list of how you can whatever. But I want you to know right now, if you're feeling unfulfilled, if you're living unfulfilled, the powerful thing about that is that you're choosing to live unfulfilled. You're choosing to settle. You're choosing to be unhappy. And I talked about this a few lives ago, and I said I was going to elaborate on it. Tonight's the night. Are you going to die like unhappy? Are you going to die miserable? There's a lot of people that are alive, but they're not living life. There's a lot of people that live their whole entire life in pain. There's a lot of people who live their whole entire life in misery. There's a lot of people who live their whole entire life in struggle. And I get it. When things are around you, it's hard to break free. I understand that to 1,000%. Trust me, I've been there in those situations. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's us creating our own storm, right? It's storming in our life, but sometimes it's us standing under the storm, under the rain cloud. We're just following it around. We have a choice to move from that rain cloud. We have a choice to move on from that storm. So think about that. Ask yourself that question, are you going to die unhappy? Are you going to die unhappy? My good friend, Jonathan Evans, he says something that really, really, really stuck with me. He says, how young you are, or how old you are, whatever, how young you are, or how old you are, he said. How old you are doesn't depend on your birthday. It depends on your death date. He said there's a lot of people that right now have 5 years to live, right? There's a lot of people who have 30 years to live. And if we knew, that would determine how old we truly are. Because some of us, we don't have that much longer to live. Some of us, we might live to we're 188, whatever. But at the end of the day, is that what you're doing with your life now. At the end of the day, it's what you're choosing to settle for. At the end of the day, it's what you're choosing to keep in your life. And I made a decision with my life that I'm not going to live, whether it's 5 years from now, 2 years from now, next week, 30 years from now. I'm going to live happy. I'm going to live fulfilled. I'm going to live the life that I deserve to live. Like straight up. I'm not going to keep people in my life that bring me down. I'm not going to keep my life in bad situations. I'm not going to keep habits in my life. Because I refuse to leave this earth unhappy. I refuse to leave this earth unfulfilled. I refuse that. I refuse to have my legacy be somebody who just settled. Somebody who stayed in pain just because. I don't want to be 80 years old and hating life. I want to be 80 and loving life. I want to be 50 and loving life. I want to be 90 and loving life. I want to be 33 and loving life. I want to be 34 and loving life this year. Straight up. And I know it's hard to make certain decisions, but it's time for you to make those decisions with your life. You deserve, right? You deserve better, but you also deserve what you settle for. That's the double-edged sword. You deserve more, but in the same token, you deserve what you settle for. And I get it. I know it might be hard. I understand that. I understand it might be hard to let go of certain things, to break certain chains. Fall in love with progression. You see the shirt. It's the reason why I say this every single day. It's the reason why I remind you guys of this every single day. It's not about where you want to be. That's great. It's about where you're no longer at. It's about what are you going to do tonight, this week, right? To move your life towards your fulfillment, to move your life towards your sanity, to move your life towards your healing, to move your life forward. What are you going to do this week? Or is this week going to be another week of complaining about the same things you ain't willing to change? Is this week going to be the same week, right? Just another week of feeling sorry for yourself? Is this week going to be another week of staying in a situation that you know is toxic for your life? Is this week Going to be another week of you choosing to stay in your struggle, of you choosing to be unhappy. Listen, I understand, like, it's hard. It's impossible. It's impossible to feel fulfilled, to feel peace when your environment is constant chaos. Your environment is constant misery. Your environment is constantly making you feel worthless. It's impossible to feel like you have worth when you're around things every single day, 24/7, that makes you feel like you're worthless. So the things that I'm telling you tonight means absolutely nothing if you're not going to make a change. Understand it. I can say all these messages and make you feel good, say, oh yeah, put the thumbs up, put the hearts and all of that. It doesn't mean nothing if you're going to go back to the same situations. It doesn't mean nothing if you're going to go back to the same habits. It doesn't mean nothing. These videos mean nothing, right? If you're going to keep accepting the same mess in your life, the same mess in your life. I refuse to die miserable. I refuse to die miserable. And it's time for you to start refusing it too. I refuse to settle in my life. So what are you going to do? You're going to keep complaining? That's it? Complain to everybody. This is my situation. Okay, cool. What you going to do about it? We back on that. What you going to do about it? Yep, I understand they did you wrong. I understand that you're going through a hard battle with addiction. I understand all that, and this sucks, and it's real. And I'm not undermining that. The struggle is real. Trust me, I know firsthand. But my next question to you is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about the person that's treating you like crap? Just going to accept it the rest of your life? What are you going to do about the habits that you've been having since you were 18 years old and you're still living those same habits? What are you going to do about impressing people that don't care about you? You buying all these things to look good to people. You buying all these things you can't afford to look good to people. What are you going to do about it? You're going to keep pleasing people and losing yourself? You're going to keep putting on this facade? Keep fall in love with your perception, with the perception that people have with you? You're going to let that control your life? How people perceive you, going to let that control your life? The expectations people put on you, going to let that control your life? Or what are you going to do about it? Because it has to come a point where you have to decide to change. It has to come a point where you have to decide and make a decision and say, enough is enough. When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you don't say next time. You don't say next video. You don't say next year. You don't say next week. You say the last time was the last time in all areas of your life, not just relationships, because sometimes it's a personal thing. Sometimes our biggest opponent is the one in the mirror. So you watching this, okay? It comes a point when you're sick and tired of really being sick and tired. See, some of us, we ain't really sick and tired of it. We say we are. We say we are. But some of us, we ain't really sick and tired of it. Some of us, we actually love the drama. Some of us, we actually addicted to the pain. We're addicted to it. And it's hard because I understand it. Like, I understand it. I understand why people stay in places. I get it. I understand it because I was that person. But I'm speaking to you tonight as a person that has moved on from a lot of things in my life. Personal things that I was causing myself and things that people were giving to me. And I know how it feels to feel free. I know how it feels to have peace in your life. And it's possible. I don't care what story you give me. I don't care about your past. I don't care about how people are treating you. I don't care about your situation. Peace is available to you, right? But you got to make some hard decisions, some decisions that you don't want to make. I get that. But what's important to you? What's important to you? Do you want to die miserable? You don't deserve that, man. You don't deserve that. Life is beautiful. Life is truly, truly beautiful. But you'll never realize that surrounding your life around things, ugly things, miserable things. You'll never see how beautiful life truly is. Let's get it.